Hey, what's up guys? It's Cliff with Trail Grid Pro. Super pumped as always to be back with you today. Today is especially special, and the reason for that is we have the honor of having the brand new Morimoto XB Evo headlights sitting right in front of me for your 2014 to 2024 Toyota 4Runner. Now, this is the third generation, for lack of a better word, of Morimoto's 5th gen 14 and up headlights. The Gen 1s were a groundbreaking headlight. They had the awesome sequential C turn signals, which were awesome. When they brought out the Gen 2s, they made them brighter. They added the third always projector light, which lit up the road even better than the previous generation. And this version, the Evo, which is the new lineup that's going to go across the board for Morimoto, brings a complete redesign of the headlights. They're brighter, they're cooler, and you're going to love them. So outside of the complete redesign that Morimoto has nailed with these Evo headlights for the 2014 to 2024 4Runner, no longer do you have to choose between amber and white for your daytime running lamps. Morimoto has baked in that option to the same headlight. So what I mean is that you can literally choose with these same sets of headlights whether you want to project a white DRL or an amber DRL. And that is accomplished by a simple color-coded adapter that you plug into the back of the headlights, which we're going to show you later, so you can project whether it's an amber DRL or a white DRL. And the same rings true whether you want a sequential turn signal or a on and then fade off turn signal for your headlights. It's a super simple decision and process with a simple color-coded adapter that you can accomplish to customize your headlights however you want. Another cool feature with these brand new headlights is that Morimoto added a little flare of topography to the sides of each headlight. Right near the turn signal, there is a little topography on the acrylic. It's super slick. It's a nice touch to these new headlights. Topography is becoming more and more popular. I see it all over 4Runners, FJs, whatever you have, and they've added that to these brand new headlights. So cool features aside, Morimoto produced all new optics for these headlights. Even though these headlights feature 2 low beam projectors, the current XBs have 3, they're significantly brighter than the current XBs. Morimoto specifically designed these optics to be just a hair under DOT legal requirements for intensity. The headlights will be the brightest headlight on the market right out of the box. And Morimoto has also added a supercharged capability to these headlights so you can make them brighter than right out of the box. Now, I must tell you, they are not DOT approved, the superchargers I'm referring to, but if you're out on the trails in the middle of nowhere, you can plug those in, you're gonna see whatever's in front of you and then some. Okay, so before you start your install, the first thing that you wanna do is you wanna determine what type of light set you have on your current 4Runner from the factory. 2014 to 2020 4Runners typically have a halogen high beam and low beam, so you're going to head down that path for the installation. If you have a 2021 4Runner, you typically have a LED low beam and a halogen high beam. And if you have a 2022, 2023, or 2024 4Runner, you typically have a LED low beam and LED high beam. So you want to follow the installation as such for your particular headlights. Now, the great thing about these new Morimoto Evo headlights is that it's a comprehensive solution. Everything you could possibly need. Doesn't matter what type of 4Runner you have from 2014 to 2024, in the box that arrives at your house, you're gonna have every possible combination that you could need. So it's a one-stop shop solution so that your install is gonna go super smooth. All right, so let's talk about what we have on the table. So obviously in front of me right here, we've got the new super cool Evo headlights, which we've talked through. Over here, we have the resistors. We have different harnesses that will be needed depending on which Toyota 4Runner headlight setup you have from the factory. Now over here, what we have in front of me are the super cool color-coded, super simple adapters which determine by plugging them in whether you have an amber DRL or a white DRL or a sequential turn signal or a on fade off, which is super easy. We'll go over those specifically a little bit later. And then over here, we have your various harnesses for your Adafuse for your DRL. And then right here, we have the supercharger that I was telling you guys about. It's red. It looks already supercharged. And by adding these to your headlights, which is a very easy installation, just some simple screws pulling out what's in there currently, putting the supercharger in, you get a brighter output, which, as I said before, is not DOT friendly, but if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you want to be brighter, you plug those in, you're going to see everything. All right, so let's take a second to go over the mode selector keys. So over here, starting with the red, if you use the red, you will have a white DRL with a fade off turn signal. Blue will result in a white DRL with a sequential turn signal. Green will be an amber DRL with a fade off turn signal, and black will be an amber DRL with a sequential turn signal. So I know I talked about it earlier, but now you can see with a simple mode selector switch, you can customize the experience of your new Evo headlights. All right, let's go over the tools real quick that you'll need for this installation. We've got a 10 mil with an extension here, which is recommended. You can use a manual or powered in order to get the job done. We've got cutters here, which you'll need for your zip ties, panel tool of some sort, and this is a panel popper. Be nice to have both of those on hand, and then zip ties, and that's all we'll need to get this job done. All right, I think that pretty much sums up all the awesome details of these new Morimoto XB Evo headlights. So let's get on over the truck, get it disassembled, and get these in. All right, so first step of disassembly is obviously pop your hood. And what we need to do is we need to remove this top piece right here. And it's held together by a bunch of clips. And essentially all you need to do is push all of them in. You can hear it kind of snap. Now, this is a bit of an older 5th gen, so we're missing some. That's okay, but you might have all of them. There would be one here and one here as well, but he's missing them as well as here. But bottom line is you're just pushing all of them in, and then one at a time, just picking them up. Now, they may come out easily, or they may require a little bit of force, but pretty easy to get out. In some cases, you might not even need the panel popper. So as you can see from this disassembly of this, keep these in a safe place because they can go missing. As in this case, they're already missing 3, so we're going to put these in a safe place. Okay, so at this point, we can just lift up this piece right here, and it pops right off. Okay, so we're over here on the driver's side of the front bumper. We're gonna be removing, there's 3 bolts right here, and then there's 2 underneath. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those. He uses this 4Runner, got some dirt coming out of these. It's raining dirt. All right, we've got 3 bolts here. If you notice, there's a difference between them. This one goes on the top. These 2 go on the bottom. So this one on top, and these 2 on the bottom. Put those in a safe place. Okay, now that we have the 3 bolts out here, we're actually gonna head underneath to get the other 2 out. Okay, so true to form, Maddie's also missing a bolt here. So typically you'll have a bolt here. You'll just need to remove that, again, 10 mil. And then this one right here, so we'll get that one. Okay, got that out. Put it in a safe place. All right, we got the 5 10 mils out here. Now we're just gonna go to the passenger side and do the exact same thing. All right, over here on the passenger side, so we're just gonna remove the same 3 bolts here. Again, 10 mil. All right, now we're gonna head underneath and get the other 2. All right, on this side, Maddie has this bolt, so we're gonna take it out. And right here as well. Perfect. Okay, we also have these 2 center bumper bolts. So we'll start over here on the driver's side. All right, got that off. And over here, passenger side. Okay, put those in a safe place. Okay, so back up top, and there are 3 additional bolts and pop clips, actually 1 bolt and 2 pop clips that we need to remove. There's a 10 millimeter right here in the middle, right next to the hood latch. And then there's 2 pop clips on either side of the grill here. That's kind of like the main thing holding our grill onto the vehicle at this point. There are some attachments here on the side, which we'll have to disassemble as well. But the reason we've done it this way is because we have some aftermarket solutions on this front grill. There's a camera and some grill lights, which we're gonna disconnect now. So if you have any aftermarket accessories attached to your grill, right now is the time to disassemble those. So we're gonna do that off camera and then pick up here. Okay, so we have the grill lights and the aftermarket front camera disconnected. Again, at this point, all of your aftermarket solutions should be disconnected. And we're gonna remove first this 10 millimeter bolt here. In some applications, some 4Runners, you might have another one down here below it. But in this 4Runner, we just have one on top here. So let's go ahead and remove that. And we have these 2 clips here, one here and one here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove those. All right, get those out. Okay, so now I'm on the driver's side and we need to detach the front bumper from the fender liner. And so basically we just need to get in here and separate it. So that one kind of pops over like that. These here, get underneath of it and kind of just pull it away. It sounds a little violent, but that's what it takes. All right, so that side is completely disconnected and we're gonna go do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so same thing on this side. We have to, this top one, we have to pass the fender, or I'm sorry, the bumper over this little section here. There we go. Got it past it. And then these, just get underneath of it with a pry tool and start to pull it apart. Let's get that last one here. Okay, got it disconnected. Okay, so we need to remove these 4 clips. There's one there, one here, and one here. So we'll get started here on the passenger side. There's one. And there's the 4th. Keep those in a safe place. All right, so now we can just pull off the bumper. So we've got it here. All right, and before we take it fully off, we got to remove each fog light. All right, so we got that disconnected. All right, now let's do the passenger side. There we go. And put the bumper in a safe place. All right, so now that we have the front bumper off, it's time to remove the headlights. And whether you have factory headlights or existing aftermarket headlights, it's the same bolts to remove the headlight assembly. Right here, we've got the Morimoto Gen 2s. We're doing the upgrade to the Evos. So let's get started. So we've got one here on top, one under here, one on the side, and then there's one here right in the front. So let's get started getting those removed. And the last one here in the front. All right, so now that we've got the 4 bolts removed, we can remove the headlight assembly and start making the disconnections. So as you can see here, Matt's truck is a bit dirty. It might be helpful to have a flathead screwdriver to start to depress all of these, but essentially what you're going to be doing is disconnecting all of the connections. All right, so we've got everything disconnected from these Morimoto Gen 2s. Now, if you have a factory headlight, it's gonna look slightly different, but bottom line is you're just removing all the connectors. Let's put this over on the bench. Okay, passenger side, same 4 bolts. We've got one here on top, one hidden, right here. We've got one here on the side and then one here in the front. So let's go ahead and get those removed. All right, let's get this one in front removed. All right, let's get the headlight out. Okay, and we're gonna get all of our connections removed. Again, yours may look different depending on your headlight, but the bottom line is you're removing everything. All right. Got everything disconnected. Let's put this over on the bench. All right, so after you remove your headlights, whether it's the factory headlights or the aftermarket headlights that you've had on, we need to remove the bumper support bracket from the existing headlights and transfer them over to the new Evos. And to do that, we're just going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. And the bumper support bracket is held on by these 3 Phillips head screws. So here, here, and here. So we're going to go ahead and remove those. And even though these are aftermarket Morimoto headlights, this is the hardware from the factory headlights. So these were removed from a factory headlight and attached to these Morimotos. So this is the passenger side Morimoto. So we're going to put this on another bench so we don't get confused. And we're going to immediately transfer it over to the passenger side Evo. You can go ahead and start it with your fingers. All right, passenger side is done. Let's move on to the driver side. Again, same 3 screws. Piece comes off. Put the old headlight in a safe place. Then transfer it to the driver's side Evo. Okay, we're over here on the bench. We've got the new Evos here. We've transferred the bumper support brackets, and now we have some decisions to make. Right now is basically the time that you'll determine what type of DRL and how it reacts when you use your turn signal, whether fade off or sequential. And we do that with these XB mode selector keys right here. So we'll run through them one more time. The red right here in the front is if you want a white DRL with a fade off turn signal. Blue is a white DRL with a sequential turn signal. Green is an amber DRL with a fade off turn signal. And black is an amber DRL with a sequential turn signal. So our customer wants the white DRL with sequential turn signals. So we're going to go ahead and grab the blue. And I'm going to show you how easy it is. You see that connection there? Hey, looks somewhat similar to that right there. So let's go ahead and plug it in. Hey, how easy was that? Same thing on this side. It's that easy. It's actually kind of crazy because you used to have to choose before you purchased what type of color you wanted, whether you wanted amber or white. Now I can say, hey, if I want to jump to amber, just disconnect. I'm going to go over here to amber, and the green is amber with a fade off turn signal. I just switched up everything. Went from sequential to fade, and I went from white to amber. It's that easy. But for our customer, we're going to stick with the white with sequential. So we'll go back there. And there you go. Next, we talked a little bit about the supercharged pack, and I've got those right here sitting in front of me. Beautiful red color. Now, you're going to notice that these look very similar to this piece right here. So the way that you get supercharged is all you do is remove this, and I'll do one right now to show you. So we're going to remove this black casing right here. Put the screws to the side. Okay, now that we have the screws removed, recommend just use a panel tool and just kind of get in here and pop it up. Okay. And then I'm going to try to tilt it so you can see it. There's two connectors in here that we'll just remove. There's one, and there's the other. Okay, so we just remove that, and then we get our supercharged. Now, as a reminder, the supercharger gets boost in light output. Not DOT approved, it's trail approved. So you're going to be able to see everything, whether you're in the middle of the desert, wherever you are, you're going to see everything in front of you and then some. And then all we're going to be doing is matching up the connectors. White to white, black to black. Put it back into position. Pop your screws in here, here, and here, and just like that, you're supercharged. Our customer's not going supercharged, so we're going to take this out, but just wanted to show you for demonstration purposes how easy it is to supercharge your light output. Okay, so the last thing to consider before you install your new Evos is these headlights come with two sets of wiring harnesses. So I've got this that I have connected, and then there's another version here depending on which type of truck that you have. So if you find yourself needing to remove one and attach the other, you're just going to pull up on this tab right here, and then the assembly just pulls out. And then you can attach the other one and push in the locking mechanism. And that's it. That's how easy it is to change your connectors. And again, these come with both connectors. It's a comprehensive solution for 2014 to 2024 Toyota 4Runners. All right, so now that we've got everything taken care of with the new Evos on the bench, we want to run the new DRL harness from the fuse box and then lay it out into each the passenger and driver's side headlight location. That way everything's ready when we put in the headlights. So let's get started with that. So we're going to remove our fuse cover. And all right, what we're looking for, as it's noted here in the diagram, is the INJ fuse location, which is right here between a 10 amp and a 7.5 amp fuse. And where that is, so where that is in this fuse box is actually right here. Here's the 10, but then there's a 7.5 right below it. So we're going to remove this fuse right here. That is our 10 amp fuse in our INJ location. This is our fuse tap or add a fuse that came with the Morimoto headlights. There's actually two kinds. And as you can see, for our 10 amp fuse location, our INJ fuse location, it's got the longer connectors here. So we need the add a fuse that has the longer connection there, so it'll reach all the way down where it needs to. There's another option that's shorter, but for ours, we need the longer. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Now, in a lot of cases with this fuse that came out of the INJ location, you'll actually have to put that in the empty slot on the add a fuse harness. In this case, Morimoto already provided the 10 amp fuse, so we didn't need to reuse this. Now that we have this in location, to make sure that your fuse cover will close, you're going to need to make a little notch here in the side of your fuse box to make sure the wire will pass. So what we've done is we've made a little notch here in the base of the fuse and then also in the cover. So that way the wire will be able to pass through. We can keep our fuse box cover on and everything will be dandy. All right, the next thing we need to do is we need to grab our DRL harness here, which should be all nice and neatly wrapped up for you. So we're just gonna disconnect that and get that stretched out. All right, there's a section of the DRL harness where you see here it Y's out. All right, so this is going to the driver's side headlight, and then the rest of the harness, if you can, is going to go over to the passenger side. But I just want to make sure you plug in your add a fuse to the correct section. So run that back to here, away from the Y, and plug it in. Okay, that's nice and plugged in and secured. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start fishing our wire through here, through the driver's side headlight, and then leave this section there. That's for the driver's side headlight. And we're going to start working our harness. There's an area back here right behind this, which I'm going to start to work the harness through. Just keeps it out of the way of the hood latch. And we're going to bring that over to the passenger side. All right, I'm going to grab a couple zip ties and I'm going to secure, not tightly, but secure this wire, that's what I've run across, to this section right here, just so it doesn't go falling down. Leave it loose. All right, we are going to have some extra wire here, which we'll clean up at the end, but for now we're just going to leave it over here near the fuse box. All right, so next up in the installation is the resistor, and this is used in all applications. So Morimoto definitely thought this through and put a gigantic magnet on the back. So what we're going to do is we're on the passenger side right here. We're just going to place it right on the sidewall here, and the connector will have more than enough room to get to the headlight. All right, so the driver's side resistor, we can actually tuck right under here next to the battery and slide back behind here, just in the same place we had the passenger side on. I know it's tough to see, but it's in the same place. Here's our resistor connector. We're good to go. All right, we have our DRL harness ran. We still have some cleaning up to do, which we'll do at the end with some zip ties, but now's the time we're gonna get the driver's side Evo headlight in, get everything connected, and make sure that both sides work as they should. So let's get started with that. All right, we've got the headlight assembly here. Let's go ahead and start making our connections. Now again, these are keyed, so they will have their mate, and that's it. All right, and your DRL harness is going to connect right here in the headlight. It's right there, connects, good. All right, we have all of our connections made. So let's go ahead and get this in position. We are going to clean up these wires, but just for now, we're going to put in the driver's and passenger side and give it a test. All right, let's get in one of our bolts just to hold this in place while we run our tests. All right, so now we'll start with the passenger side. So let's get our resistor plug in. There we go. And now we'll go with the main harness plugs. And again, these are keyed. If you find yourself going through this process and you don't have mates, then you probably have the wrong harness on your headlights. Just swap them, and you should be good to go. And our DRL, right into the DRL slot here on the headlight assembly. Okay, so that's everything. Let's go ahead and tuck our wires back. Again, we'll clean this up at the end, but we just want to run a test. Let's get one 10 mil in just to hold it in place. Okay. All right, good to go there. Now let's give them a test. All right, guys, we fired these up. We put them to the test. They look amazing. Did you see the startup sequence on these? Super unique. Love it. Morimoto knocked it out of the park. Now that we know that everything works, we're going to go ahead and tidy up our wires, and we're going to get started with the reinstallation of our bumper so that we can get out there and enjoy it. All right, first thing we're going to do is my zip ties right here, which I left a little loose. We're going to tighten those down and then cut them. That's for the DRL harness. Our lengths are good. All right, let's get all the bolts back in the driver's side headlight. So we've got the one started here. So let's get the one that's tucked under here. One here in the front. And the one here in the side. Now on the passenger side, we've already started one bolt here, so we've got the one tucked underneath here. Got the one here in front. And the one here on the side. All right, so let's go ahead and get our front bumper back on, and we're gonna start by connecting our fog lights. All right, we got the driver's side done. Now the passenger side, same thing. Okay, got both fog lights connected. We're gonna start to hang our bumper. All right, we're gonna start by putting our center 10 mil in here. And then our clips on either side. Right there. And right here. We've got 4 more clips on the inside of the upper bumper, which we'll put back. All right, now that we have this top section secured, we're going to move to the driver's side footwell, re-secure the driver's side of the front bumper. Then we're going to move to the passenger side of the front bumper, do the same thing, put our 5 screws in on each side. Then we're going to get our 2 screws in the middle, and then we'll be done. All right, so let's go ahead and start to attach our bumper here to get all the fender liner right in place. Tuck this under, and you're basically going to be getting into these clips. All right, let's get our 3 10 mils back in. All right, now let's go around to the other side, do the same thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get this lined up with our fender liner. Just get it here in these clips. There we go, just like that. And then this part, yeah, there we go. Just kind of pops over, the top one pops over that little bolt location there. Okay, we seem to be all lined up. Let's go get our 3 10 mils. All right, so when you're underneath here, you do want to adjust the fender liner so it matches up. As you remember, Matt was missing a bolt of 10 mil, so there's usually one here and here. I'm just going to put one here because this one actually supports the bumper a little bit more, so, but you'll have one here as well. Over to here. Let's get this fender liner matched up. All right, let's go ahead and get our top cover back on with our pop clips. And if you remember, Matt did not have all of these, so we will have some missing. If you ever do lose these, you can get them from your local Toyota dealer. They have easy access to these. All right, we got this installation done. Super thrilled with the new Evo 4Runner headlights. We've already shown you an example of the 4Runner white DRL with the sequential turn signal. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through each function for you, amber DRL, white DRL, both with sequential and with the fade off, so you can see exactly what you can expect with your new headlights. All right, guys, so as you can see, if you're looking to upgrade the lighting on your 2014 to 2024 Toyota 4Runner, this is a one-stop shop. You've got your white DRL or your amber DRL that you can switch at your choosing, and you can go sequential or fade off, which all look awesome. That startup sequence is completely sick. This is a great new product, which is gonna light up your life. You can pick it up in the TrailGrid Pro shop at www.trailgridpro.com. And as always, guys, have a blast out there.